Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're here at the Steinway & Sons Piano Gallery over on the west side of Madison. We always love coming here because we always learn something about, music or pianos or the history of pianos. I think it was the last time we were here, and today is going to be no exception. We're joined now by Ben Garber, from the owner, I should say, of Steinway & Sons Piano Store here in Madison. Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming again.
And you brought someone with you today.
Yep. I am going to introduce Tom Davison. He is another member of the team here at Steinway Madison and a real rare asset in the piano world. The thing about Tom is he has worked for every major manufacturer. So he was with Roland for 10 years, he was with Yamaha, he's been with Steinway, so he knows the inside of the piano industry.
Yeah, inside of the piano and inside of the piano industry, is it fair to say?
I don't know the inside of the piano as well as Ben does, but I certainly know the goings-on of the musical instrument industry.
Okay, yes. Gotcha. Well, let's talk about pianos. A piano can represent a pretty big purchase for a family. Is it similar to buying a car, would you say?
That's a great question, and I think it's fair to make a comparison because so many people are used to buying a car. It's the big ticket item that most families have gone through. So there are similarities. You can finance similarly.
Sure.
You can rent a piano, like I suppose you could rent a car too.
Or lease a car.
But there are also a lot of differences.
I agree. Experientially, there are a lot of differences. First off, a piano represents an investment that can last a lifetime.
Yeah.
In the amount of time that it takes for a piano, a high-quality piano to deteriorate, you're probably going to have 6 to 8 to 10 cars.
Right.
So it's a really, really long-term investment.
Right.
I think one of the other differences is that unlike what we're used to, most people dread going to a car buying experience.
Right, they do it because they have to.
They have to. Their car broke down. I just had a similar experience. People have fun here.
Yeah.
And I think people sense the vibe and the chemistry of Ben and I and Debbie. So I think it's like the yin, yang, and the yang. And they just have a good time. And I love it when they say, I've really had fun.
Yeah.
I had a good time. I was so apprehensive coming in here.
Right.
But now it's just, you've just taken all my stress away.
Right.
And then I know we're successful.
Yeah, awesome.
So when people are making this purchase, again, it's a big purchase. People get nervous, whether it's a car or even a piano, because it's a big decision.
Sure.
And maybe a fair amount of their budget if they're considering it. How can they feel rest assured that they're getting the right information and a fair price and the quality that they are hoping for?
Ben?
Yeah, that's really important, obviously, and unfortunately, in the piano world, the internet hasn't really helped us. There's more myths, I would say, on the internet than truths. So you really need to find someone who's going to be in your corner, who's a knowledgeable expert, who can help educate you and tell you really what's going on behind the
Between
surface.
the two of you, I feel like that's it right there.
Well, straight from Steinway, they'll tell you, it can be a perceived quagmire out there. And when you move to another city, for example, the number one thing you want to do is source and resource the Steinway dealer. There's only 61 of us in the United States. A lot of people don't realize that. And what it takes to be a Steinway dealer is unbelievable scrutiny in the process. They not only do you have to be unbelievably have financial stability, but you have to have expertise in it. I am really fortunate that I get to work for a guy who never toots his own horn, but he's the only one I've ever met in this business, and I've been in it 38 years, that has a combination of a master's degree in piano performance, which a lot of people do, but he has a master's degree in piano technology. And I have learned so much in the year and a half I've been here, and I rely on him a lot. I bring him into the conversations with the salespeople, with the customers, thank you, a lot.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I know he never toots his own horn.
Well, why don't you start tooting right now?
We're not supposed to do that, right?
So I do it for him.
There you go. There you go.
And we do too.
There you go.
So, I imagine that there are people who are, professional musicians who want to buy a Steinway or a piano, and then there's people who are kind of amateur musicians, or they just like the look of a piano in their house. But you obviously have the eye and the ear to tell the difference between some of these pianos. Is there a difference? I mean, to the untrained eye and the ear, they may all look or sound the same, but is there a difference?
Yeah, there's a huge difference actually, and it's reflected in price point too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you see the price point of an entry-level piano versus an artist-level piano, it's huge, right? Unfortunately, with cars, right, they all look different. You can say, hey, that looks fancy, that looks fast.
Well,
Right.
and everyone has brand recognition.
Of course.
They know the
Yeah.
difference between a Mercedes and a Lexus or
Yeah.
a lesser model. They all know that because they're constantly being inundated by commercials.
Right.
And
point.
those same performance differences exist in a piano, you just can't see them.
Right.
They're behind the
Or
surface.
they just don't know about it.
Right.
That's why I bring Ben in.
That's why we've got Ben.
So talking about pianos and piano lessons, we have a couple minutes left to talk about piano lessons and making them fun and interesting. And I'm wondering what you have to say about that.
Well, yeah, looking forward, we're always thinking of ways of making more fun happen here, and that could be on the buying side or on the piano lesson side. So we're going to be moving into some new areas, some group classes and things like that.
Group classes for piano.
Yeah. And we have a really exciting announcement for April. There's going to be a national Steinway piano competition held here, so that's it's a little bit more on the practiced side, if you will. Right?
I like hearing you say that you guys have fun here, because I think there's maybe a misconception. You think of Steinway and you think of a piano gallery, and it sounds a little stuffy, maybe even pretentious, depending. And I've never felt that here.
No, not at all.
And you're looking to have even more fun.
Yeah, ideally. I mean, I think we want to move into the 21st century. Pianos have been around for a long time, but they can still be viable as we look forward. So.
Absolutely. Well, Ben and Tom, thank you so much for the information
I
today.
had fun.
Yeah. You're gonna come
Fun
back.
again.
Gonna come back and do it again.
Yeah, Ben lets me.
I have a feeling that we've only scratched the surface of what you know about today. So
I can tell you stories.
Well, Ben Garber and Tom Davison, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And that's all for us here on Wisconsin Family from the Steinways and Sons Piano Store here on the west side of Madison. We'll see you next time.
The beat, clap your hands, let's take control.